Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm Caleb Bowen.
And I'm Collin Barnwell, and this is the Redline Report, powered by HireMaster.
Prologis, a real estate logistics company, has projected that the available warehouse space will likely be constrained for some time. There were hopes of congestion decreasing in storage and shipping. However, that does not seem to be the case. During times of expansion or congestion, the true months of supply, or TMS, tends to run on average at about 36 months and has never dropped below 30 months. Since 2021, the TMS has dropped to as low as 16 months, and it has been averaging 20 months for 2022 alone. Less and less storage is rented as the quarter progresses, and it is expected to last for some time until the true months of supply are back to normal.
The logistics space is in high demand due to supply chain disruptions. In fact, Prologis is predicting that vacancy rates will stay at 3.3%, which is an all-time low, and rent growth will increase by 22%. Expectations about rent growth and demand for logistics real estate were high for 2022. However, due to major decreases in supply, Prologis lowered its new construction completions for warehouses by 25 million square feet and is unsure how long the current decrease in supply and lower demand in rent space will last. Not only has the Shanghai lockdown caused congestion in the supply chain, but so has the isolation of Russia's ports. The day Russia invaded Ukraine, many significant container lines were discontinued through Russian ports, with several winding down operations this month, including MSC and Maersk. Arrivals or calls have decreased by 38% since the invasion began, with limited capacity to export or import goods taking a toll on the Russian economy.
In a related story, with global supplies of oil shifting weekly, diesel fuel is becoming a hot commodity, as inventories on the East Coast shrank to near record-breaking levels, which correlates with a continued jump in diesel fuel at the pump. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of diesel surpassed $5.50 for the first time in U.S. history, breaking the mark set back in March. To put this in perspective, 1 month ago, a gallon of diesel cost $5.03, and 1 year ago, it cost $3.14. Prices for items like food and other supplies will necessarily rise in the coming 6 to 12 months as suppliers' contracts are renegotiated with pricing tables. A bill submitted last month by Michigan Congressman Andy Levin aims to repeal the motor carrier overtime exemption in the Fair Labor Standards Act. As Levin mentioned in a news release, quote, "While fixing the discrepancy in existing law is long overdue in its own right to bring us one step closer to truly fair labor standards for truckers, my bill also highlights that we are at a crucial moment for the industry at large," end quote. The introduction of this bill comes on the heels of the U.S. Department of Transportation's recommendation to eliminate the exemption, which they believe will improve the supply chain.
The working conditions of truck drivers across the country are brutal, starting with poor compensation and long hours. Despite their hard work, truckers do not receive overtime pay, which has resulted in high turnover rates. Employers are raising the benefits and pay in order to retain drivers. However, better benefits are not enough to keep the turnover rates low. The exemption for overtime pay was passed in the 1930s, and according to the OOIDA, it is an outdated law that prevents truckers from earning a fair compensation. The potential repeal of overtime exemption not only will allow truck drivers to receive the overtime pay they deserve, but will also create better working conditions and low turnover rates for the trucking industry.
And that's all for this week's Redline Report. I'm Caleb Bowen.
And I'm Collin Barnwell. Be sure to follow, subscribe, like, and comment to catch each episode. And we'll see you next time on the Redline Report, powered by HireMaster.